Hey guys, and welcome to my home office. My name is Roberto George, and I'll be here with you today to show you how we can add a second drive, whether it is an SSD or a regular hard drive, to my laptop, which is a HP Pavilion DV6 7130. But this will work for any DV6 7000 series. So the system, it's pretty straightforward, very simple, but I would like to share with you guys, and at the end of the video I will also share some speed tests that I made, just so we can compare a regular hard drive with an SSD, which is what we are going to use today. We are going to use the Samsung 840 EVO, and for the tests that I've made, I'm really happy with it. So if you are looking for not very expensive, of course all SSDs are a bit expensive, but not that expensive, this is a great choice. I'm really happy with it. If you are trying just to get more space on your when I mean space, hard drive space on your system, you can add a second regular hard drive. So we're gonna need, of course, our HP. We're gonna need the SSD or the extra regular hard drive. I'm not going to use this one for this tutorial. We are going to use just the SSD, and of course we are going to need a Caddy. I will put the link in the description video, so that you can find it. It was very cheap in eBay, about 10 euros with free postage. It comes with a replacement for the hard drive, but we are not going to use this one because it doesn't look good. We are going to use the original cover from the laptop itself, and it comes with a few screws so that you can put your hard drive or SSD in place. And we are also going to use an old external 2.5 hard drive that I have here, and just because I didn't want to purchase the expansion desktop kit, which brings a USB to SATA, USB 3 in this case, to SATA, which we will need to clone our operating system and all the applications that we have, unless you want to install Windows from scratch and install all your programs from scratch, which I think, well, at least for me, it's a big headache. So what I did is I'm going to use this old hard drive case just to put my SSD temporarily and use a software that we are going to see to clone my main hard drive to the SSD. And the reason I'm doing this is just because the kit was 40 euros more, and 40 euros you can buy other stuff instead of purchasing this kit and just using once to clone your drive. So the few extra minutes, that's one of the disadvantages of doing this. It's that it's going to take a little longer to clone your drive, your main drive, to the SSD, because it's a USB 2 connection. But that's not a problem. If it's not a problem for you, for me it wasn't. Just a few more minutes, and it was worth the 40 euros that I saved on this, so I could expend 40 euros more on other stuff. Okay, and this is it. I will use also a regular screwdriver. Don't know the technical name for this, but it's the star screwdriver, and I'm gonna use a flat screwdriver, if I can call it that, just to open this box here. A reminder that if your case has warranty, you will void the warranty. In my case, no, this is a old drive, so I won't void it. And this is it, guys. Let's go and see what we have to do here. So first of all, we are going to remove, with the help of our flat screwdriver, the hard drive, the 2.5-inch hard drive from the case. If you have the upgrade kit that comes with the USB connection, usually USB 3, you can skip this step. In my case, as I explained, I didn't purchase the upgrade kit. I purchased only the SSD. So it just brings the SSD and then the CD with the software. And then here what we're going to use is just the PCB from this hard drive case. So we can connect our SSD to that PCB and then make the connection. Of course, this connection, as I said, is a USB 2.0, and the upgrade kit usually in every brand brings a USB 3.0 as a connection, so it's a bit faster, well, a lot faster. But if you are talking about an operating system with files as mine, which has usually 100 megs, it's okay and fast. And to use a software for clone, I'm using Aome Backupper. I will leave the link below the description, and all you have to do, it's pretty easy to work with. I'm using it for a long time. All you have to select is the clone option and then your source disk, and then which disk you want as a destination, and then click next, and that's it. In my case, I'm not doing it because I'm doing it already, just showing you on the screen the software, okay? And after half an hour, 40 minutes, you will have your SSD cloned and ready to replace your old, or if it's not old, the original HDD of your laptop. So once we have that done, all we need to do is now shut down our laptop. So we make sure we're not working with the laptop on. We don't want to damage any of the components. And once we shut down, we can turn it over, remove the battery so we can so we don't risk having a short circuit, and try to ground yourself. In my case, I used a grounded metal. There are some bracelets to it so it can discharge your electricity. First of all, we will need to take the cover of the main bay of the laptop, which will show us the hard drive and also the screw that is holding our DVD drive. So the first step is to remove that screw, put it aside in a place that you don't lose it, and then try to gently remove the DVD bay or DVD drive. Okay. This plastic, we are going to use it to cover our HDD bay instead of using the black one, as I shown before. It will look much better than using this black one, which was the one that came with a caddy. So we're gonna put it aside. And this little metal, which is the one that will hold the DVD drive to the laptop, we are going to use it so we can secure the caddy to the laptop itself, so we don't risk dropping it off without noticing. The caddy doesn't include this piece, but as you are not going to use it anymore on your DVD drive, you just need to remove it. And if you want to use it, the DVD drive, once again later on, you can also reverse the process. So in here we are just making sure that it goes on the right place. just place the metal piece again, and with the screws we will try to screw it back and have our caddy ready to be screwed inside the components. The screws are very little, so I had some difficulty, nothing serious, but some difficulty sometimes managing them. But with a little bit of patience, everything will be in place in no time. This whole process will take around 45 minutes. When recording the video it took a little bit more, but I did some cuts, so doesn't bore you too much. Didn't want to cut too much because I could miss a step, and that can be a very important step. So now we have the drive ready, or the caddy, and I'm just making sure that there's the place ready to be screwed. Now with the help of the screwdriver, I'm taking the drive or the caddy back again, and it's ready to take our sorry, not the SSD, the HDD. I just took the plastic that will ensure that the drive will not move from side to side, will make very tighty inside the caddy. And now we are going to remove all the screws in the old hard drive. That I'm saying old again, my laptop is not that old, it has about 1 year, but it's a 5400 RPM, sorry, HDD. So next we are going to try not to drop the caddy. We are going to remove the screws that are holding the HDD on the caddy, and there are 4 screws holding the HDD, so we will need to take all of them so we can safely remove the hard drive. So as I say, it's a work with a little bit of patience, as you can see by my face. I am concentrated and also enjoying doing this. Okay, so once we have all the screws, put it aside, and we can remove that caddy because we are going to use it later on. Now we need to take the cables, the SATA cables from the hard drive, pull it gently so we don't rip anything off. There's my Toshiba 750 gigabytes. Just going to put it aside, and we can bring our SSD. So at this point we have everything that we need to disassemble. It's disassembled, and we are going to start to put everything together now. And the first thing is to check how the SATA cable will fit your drive, and before we connect it, I'm just making sure how the drive will fit on the caddy, and as you can see I have to put it, I have to flip it so it fits perfectly in the holes. And before I screw it, I will connect the SATA cable to the SSD. Once again, make sure everything is aligned before you push, so you don't damage anything. This is a simple process, but if we damage anything, at least where I live in Portugal, it's difficult to get some accessories like this cable, this SATA cable for the laptop is very difficult to get it here, and expensive. I would have to make an international order and maybe wait for a month or so to get a cable like that. So now we are reversing the process. We are screwing all the screws on the hard drive case, but instead of the hard drive we have our SSD in place, which will be our operating system drive or system drive. Just want to make sure that there are no screws at the end of the process laying around, because all the screws matter even if they're small. The screws don't need to be very tight, just enough to keep everything in place and not loose. Then we push the drive back in on place and secure it to the laptop with the 2 black screws that we took. If your laptop is the same model of mine, I think it's to expect that everything is equal or similar in the worst case scenario. And now it's time to get our hard drive back on the scene, and I'm gonna take the screws that came in with the Caddy. I'm gonna put them aside. We're gonna use only 4. It came with 8 screws. We're going to use only 4 of them, the black ones, which we are going to screw to the hard drive so that the hard drive can fix inside the Caddy. There are, I don't know if you can see from there, but there are a few junctions there that the screws just get in, and it will fit very tight. Easy to remove and to replace, but it will not leave the Caddy. Even if you swing your laptop or something like that, it will not. Everything will be very secure. So we screw the 4, only 2 left now. Bear with me, a little bit more patience. The process is almost done. Okay, and we have the 4 screws ready. So now just pick up our Caddy, align the disk, make sure which position we are putting the disk, and just push it with your fingers and it will snap into place, and it's going to be really tight, so there will be no worries about dropping it off or breaking the SATA connection with the movement. And then lastly, we will put that plastic from the Caddy back just to get it even more tight. I've seen in a few places where people disregard this step. I'm placing back the hard drive cover for 2 reasons. One will cover all the laptop, and the other one looks much better than the black piece that comes with the Caddy, and the connection is exactly the same as the DVD drive. The connections are plastic connections, not that fragile, so we put it in place and everything looks as original. Lastly, we will screw the DVD drive screw so it gets in place, and we will need to put our cover back. Just slide it in and screw that last screw and we can put our battery pack back, and we are now ready to fire it up and see if everything went smoothly. Okay, let's press that start button and see if it boots up. And there it is, Windows 8 logo, and it's booting up. much faster than the HDD. I didn't make a comparison in booting and applications. I just made test speed at the end of this video. But believe me, it loads everything fast. Okay, so we are inside Windows 8 now, and just take a look at my desktop. I have the SSD, and then all the other partitions are from the old hard drive. You can remove the partitions, resize them, or leave it as it is. And there's my sign. Everything went smoothly. I'm really happy with it. And for this part of the video, we are done. So now let's take a look at some tests. So this first test is with disk speed test from Blackmagic Design, and as you can see, write speed about 70-80 megabytes, and read speed a little bit higher. This is with the Toshiba 540 RPM, so the average will be around 80 writes and reads, which is usual, at least for the laptops that I've tested. And now let's test with our SSD in place, and whoa, a big difference. Okay, this is not the average, but 480 megs, 420 on the read side, 388. The next test will drop a little bit, as you can see, 250. So this is sequential reads and writes. On the read now, 330s. So as you can see, it's a huge difference. You will have an average of read and write of 300 megabytes, nevertheless, average, and then peaks at 450s, sometimes more. So as you can see, we have finished this pretty fast and smoothly without any hiccups. One thing that I would like to show is that we didn't place that black piece to cover this one. We used the original one, which I think, in my opinion, looks much better. The other option would be, of course, to leave this space here blank or with a hole, which is not really good for the components, just with the dust that gets in your laptop. And finally, I hope I could help you with this small tutorial, if I could call it that. If you liked the video, please make a like. If you didn't like it, make it a dislike. It's just next to it. Share it, use it, and thanks for watching. Bye bye, guys. My name is Roberto Jorge.